very good evening to everyone. That's the first thing, those who have joined in for participation in this particular masterclass series. So, very good evening to all of you and welcome to the masterclass series. Well, the masterclass series has been designed to help the students to understand the industry, domain, and the technology landscape. So, today we are sharing with the first in the masterclass series, which is going to basically discuss on a very interesting and a pertinent topic, which is highest paying 21st century jobs and how to land on one. Well, isn't that the topic which is there on the top of our minds? Don't we all, as students in a final year or pre-final year, always think about it? How can I end up with one of the high paying jobs? Correct? So we have the answer to that. Correct? So let me first introduce myself. My name is Dimple Chatterjee, and I'm representing the TCS NQT team. I'm a professional with industry experience of more than 2 decades in both in the technical as well as the business domain. And I will be mentoring or moderating the session for the day. So all the best to all of you. And we will be very much looking forward to a very participative kind of session where we would request all the students to pour their heart out in the terms of questions. We will also have a poll for the day. Okay, so let us see how the masterclass is construed or constructed here. We will be having this masterclass session for approximately an hour, where towards the end of the session, we will be having the question answer session, which will be encouraging the participants to ask their questions. And we have a subject matter expert who will be answering those questions on your behalf. So that will be taking about 15 to 20 minutes. And we would request all the participants to basically share their questions for the same. What is the process of sharing those questions is what I will guide you with. You can share all of your questions in the chat window by giving your name along with your college name, and we'll be happy to take it on from there. Okay. So for maintaining decorum, all the participants will be on mute, but all of you have the approach to ask your questions using the chat window. I hope that's clear. Okay. So I would like to first of all talk about our presenter who's there as a subject matter expert for the day. So we have the opportunity of having Mr. Debashish Roy, who excels as a product manager and a consultant. From his qualification perspective, he has done his ME in software engineering from Jadavpur University, Kolkata, and he has been working in the Tata Group for more than 15 years in various technical fields. So we have a subject matter expert here. So he's currently working as a technical lead for conceptualizing and implementation of hands-on environment on Iron Cloud platform. And he has also worked as a subject matter expert on big data analytics, cloud computing and architecture, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and in various other technical domains. Now, apart from his technical space, which he always is contributing to, he has also contributed as a techno-managerial panelist in TCS for the talent acquisition group, which is normally used for hiring freshers. Okay, so welcome, a very warm welcome to Debashish on this unique forum. I would like to welcome him on that. And we would be very eager to hear from such a learned professional. And I would request Mr. Roy to start off with your discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dimple. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to this particular masterclass session. We have a very interesting and pertinent topic today that you all would be really eager to know. This is about your career. So let's start without any further delays. I'll share my screen. So please let me know when it is visible.
Yes, it's visible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so highest paying 21st century jobs and how to land on one. Now, to understand what jobs are, we have to understand what are the requirements of the industry and what are the various domains that are in pertinent requirement not only today, but would sustain in the coming future. So we would be focusing on the highest paying jobs. That is the agenda that we would be focusing on is industrial growth and patterns with Industry 4.0. Now, you have been hearing about Industry 4.0 for quite some time. I'm sure about that. So we will understand what Industry 4.0 is. And as I mentioned, for sustenance and to persist in the industry, evolution is a must. So Industry 4.0 it will gradually evolve to Industry 5.0 as well. So what are the requirements and why it is necessary for Industry 5.0? That also I would discuss. I will discuss about different domains and technology landscapes based on the perspective of growth. Here, I would be discussing about different domains and technologies. Now, in these particular domains and services offered using these particular domains, I would be giving examples of how these domains are used and what different technologies collaborate to make it successful. So no matter whichever field you are from computer science, engineering, you're from IT, information technology, you're from mechanical, you're from electronics and communications, you're from civil, architecture, whatever it is, the scope is everywhere. Even you say that, okay, I am from engineering, but I have a special acumen for banking and financial segment as well. Well, that is very interesting, and I would definitely focus on that as well. Then I will focus on straight away bang on the target of evolving job markets and trends. What are the different eligibility criteria, and what are the expected average salary that you can expect by that? Here, if I would actually have to cover each and every domain, each and every aspect of the job market, then it would have been like a never ending process of this particular webinar, but we need to cut it within our time frame. So I picked up samples of examples where I try to cover most prominent ones, but obviously scope is unlimited. Next is aspire your goals, logical steps to success that normally everyone says. I would also mention it in my own words, and then for you to grow. Coming to laser focus on growth, Industry 4.0. First of all, what is Industry 4.0 and how do they talk about? In Industry 4.0, we were actually reimagining the industry different sectors. We were focusing on different automation. We are focusing how machines can be used to develop automated products with the use of Industry 4.0 technologies like artificial intelligence, data science, Internet of Things, cloud computing, big data, and so on. So we were reimagining industry sectors by leveraging Industry 4.0, where data, computational power, and connectivity were used. Human-machine interaction was leveraged to the level of augmented reality, virtual reality, where you see that this is everything is going beyond the UX, the user design experiences that you might have noticed being grown in the past few years. Analytics and intelligence that I was talking about, and advanced production methods that I would talk about, like when, say, for example, everything is through the RFIDs, everything is through the automated sensors, where everything is through a particular internet-based product, which is basically reading a particular data and sending it to cloud. From there, the analytics is happening. So based on a particular in the industry chain of say retail-based business to any other area where actually it will focus on automation in every physical space, every possible industries. What is the value of leveraging all these things? The value is first cost reduction. Second is productivity, because when machines are doing certain things, then obviously the productivity will be uninterrupted. You know how to control and set them. The first is throughput, the time from when the request has been made and the time when actually you get the response. Now, these are the values that you get. Second is, there is one more thing, is now when you sum up all these things, cost reduction, productivity, throughput, then at the exponential value what grows is certainty. That means you know that this system, if configured correctly, can do this kind of work. So certainty is important. Second is accuracy, because machines, if they are not making any faults, models of artificial intelligence and machine learning or user experience systems, if they are not making any difficulties or problems, they will be accurate. And cost of quality will be reduced because you're putting it in a particular framework to process it in that way, leveraging less amount of human resources. And fourth is naturally the experience, because when the cost is reduced, productivity is increased, the quality of the product is controlled and moderated, and it is definitely of a particular high standard. It is going to through a automated tested mechanism, then naturally the experience would be good as well. So these are the exponential values that we leveraged or we got. The industry is still in this particular, we are leveraging these things in Industry 4.0. Now let me dig deeper into what are the different technologies of Industry 4.0, or what are the different domains of Industry 4.0, because learning Industry 4.0 technologies and skills and practicing them is the hottest in the market. So when the iron is hot, beat it. That is the that is the main, that is the main, you can say, a buzzword that we go ahead and work. So if we come to this one, the first is data computational power and connectivity. When you talk about data, computational power and connectivity, what are the different technologies that makes it the burning hot in the market? First is blockchain. The blockchain and the use of cryptocurrencies. Now, blockchain and the use of cryptocurrencies is not only restricted to the blockchain development team, or where it is being developed by software developers, but it is expanding into all individual domains. You might have heard that even RBI has given nod to use cryptocurrencies in India. So blockchain is now becoming the trending demands in the market. Second is computational power, obviously, and connectivity. What can be other than cloud? Because whenever we are talking about different products, we are storing so much of information, then definitely you have to store it in some place, some storage devices. And what if, like we've stored it in the cloud, because there you're using and leveraging technologies where you can use it as a virtual space, a virtual infrastructure, like your own system, which you can store anywhere and access from anywhere, just by paying the amount of whatever you are using the latest technologies over there. So cloud becomes obviously an inevitable product or inevitable technology in this group. Internet of Things, obviously, that is really the hot in the market. You may have heard of IoT everywhere. IoT using Raspberry Pi, IoT using Arduino Uno, and from there you move to Raspberry Pi using Python and so on. Now, Internet of Things. What are the different engineering domains it encompasses? It not only encompasses those from information technology or from computer science, but it encompasses people from mechanical engineering, it encompasses people from electrical engineering, it encompasses people from electronics and communications, okay, and everywhere. How? Because the sensors that you're using, the communication technologies that you're using, the programming that you're using, the storages that you're using, the mechanical devices where you are directly using it, all put together makes it work. Next is the sensors. If you're working with the sensors, which type of sensors will produce which kind of results? Going deep into the sensor technology, definitely this gives the first part of the data computational power and connectivity that is used and leveraged in Industry 4.0. Next is analytics and intelligence. Now we got the data. We are storing it somewhere, but we have to process it, right? How do we process it? Next comes analytics and intelligence. Definitely you have heard about artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, big data, which is like everyone needs to know something in that mode. So automation of knowledge work, that is the first thing that you need to know. How do we know, or how do we get into this automation of knowledge work? For this automation of knowledge work, different tools are being leveraged, like robotic process automation. You might have heard about RPA, where there in RPA you can use certain tools like UiPath, and there can be certain other components also, Blue Prism, UiPath, etc. there. Automation of knowledge work, that suppose someone is doing some mundane job every day. Okay, they are taking some data from the Excel, putting it in some mail, forwarding it to someone, adding some headers. They're doing something like this. Now this all can be leveraged with a robot. Now that is what robotic process automation does. To store a huge, next I'm talking about big data. If you're talking about a huge amount of data which is coming to petabytes and terabytes, and we are unable to process it as and when required, then we need certain technologies like big data. For big data, obviously, there are multiple platforms. Cloudera Hadoop is one, Apache Hadoop is another one. They've used certain technologies called MapReduce, Hadoop distributed file systems, and so on. Then data science and advanced analytics, where actually the data science techniques, the statistical measures, the different models of machine learning has been leveraged. Processing a data into full step from exploratory data analysis to directly creating a model, okay, and then directly testing it and cleaning this, like testing it and predicting the output, going for the predictive and the prescriptive analytics. Then is artificial intelligence. As a part of it, definitely would be used into this particular way, where not only the data analytics is done, but the robotics part is also included. Then you're leveraging different components of artificial intelligence like natural language processing, like reinforcement learning, and so on. Next is human-machine interaction, which I was talking about, like virtual and augmented reality. Well, the different gaming platforms being recently developed these days. Some of you can heard about Roblox. So naturally, you know that these systems and even like movies where virtual and augmented reality have been extensively used. So you can understand that these kind of things like user experience enhancements using virtual and augmented reality are the buzzword in the market. Robotics and automation, collaborative robots, machines, etc. Robotic process automation, as I mentioned, and chatbots. Like bots everywhere, you open a particular site, you see that a bot popping up, asking you what you need to do. You call someone, some helpline, there is a bot-based telecaller who directly asks you to do certain tasks. So these are all the part of Industry 4.0 technologies, which has been leveraged for ease of processing, certainty of processing, enhancing the productivity, reducing the cost, and so on. Next is advanced production methods. Now, this is based on additive manufacturing, including 3D printing, renewable energy resources, and sensors, as I mentioned. So this is advanced production methods. If we come to the examples of effective digital transformations at various levels, so effective digital transformations comprises of something like data visualization and performance tracking. These are some of the examples where it has been used. Now, digital performance boards with real life OE and loss tracking with personalized data, reporting automation, individual container RFID tracking. So whenever there is a problem, I got a question, and maybe I'll take it up just after this particular slide. So reporting automation, individual container RFID tracking, where it is being passed, you track this particular containers, wherever it is passed, how it is being passed, the entire process and the path. So these are the data visualization and performance tracking that has been automated. Normally, industry automation, automated container loading and uploading, part of industrial industry 4.0 mechanisms. Filling and emptying automation, upgrades, automated guided vehicles like Google has already released, not in India though. Now these are part of the automations that is being leveraged as part of Industry 4.0 technologies. Mobile and digital platforms that is being used, mobile platforms, operators, keys, apps, digital platforms, dialogues, everything is paperless process right now. Digital maintenance and optimization, where digitized work order process, automated predictive maintenance, automated performance deterioration warning. Say, for example, even for a retail chain business, say you are directly working, say Suppose in a particular, say, a group of, say, Spencers or a kind of a retail chain business. Say a particular product, as and when it is being procured by customers, it is going down. Okay. Say initially it was, say, 10 kgs. Now, after someone has bought, say, up to 5 kgs, 4 kgs, it is going down. Then that automatically, when the next quantity is being given, an alarm automatically, and a sensor driven alarm automatically rings, and it automatically sends a requisition for replenishment of the economic order quantity that is being provided. Okay, based on what is called a lead time. Now, this is basically your automated process of inventory management. Got it? So, automated performance deterioration warning. Second example I can give you is, suppose a particular machine, say machine A, is designed to produce, say, 20 units of an item per day. Okay, say for example in textile industries, in a particular department, say for example a spinning department, what they do is they get as an input are slivers. Slivers are actually cotton, not the exactly the cotton strings that you, the threads that you see, but say for example these are actually, you know, the cotton when they are fluffed in the blow room and they are put into a particular stage. With an intermediate stage, it comes to the spinning department. Now suppose these are called slivers. Now when the slivers are actually processed and passed, suddenly suppose there is a breakage in that particular sliver, because they need to come in a particular string, then only a string and a thread can be created in a cotton textile industry. Automated, I'm saying. Now suppose at that instance of time, immediately there is a breakage. Now the performance degradation will happen because the threads will not be as smooth, the twining of the threads will not be great, it will directly break up. So immediately there is an alarm to raise a concern that this has broken. The entire process will automatically stop and a preventive warning will start immediately, and a new fresh set of slivers will be generated, and this would automatically be discarded. Now this is all an automated performance deterioration warning and a chain reaction. I've seen it to happen in that way. Second is, say for example, in say healthcare products, say an example of a pacemaker. Okay, that we normally, people with cardiac complications in the sinoatrial node, SA node, directly use it to start the signaling process. Now, when a particular pacemaker is being, say, used in a bifascicular block, and a pacemaker deteriorates on its own due to battery problem or some kind of, say, tachycardia or arrhythmia that can happen. So immediately there will be warnings being given, and that can be tracked from outside. It is possible to track and monitor and can directly adjust them from outside through remote. So these kind of technologies are possible based on these kind of maintenance and optimization. Now, what are the departments? What are the different fields that has actually come to place to make this happen? Obviously, to make these devices mechanical and electromechanical departments, obviously you need to use the information technology and you need to use the programming for the embedded chips, so embedded technology. So everything has been, and obviously the domain, that is the healthcare, that everything had to come in together to make such wonderful things, life-saving materials like this. Throughput optimization is the next part, where actually you are focusing on how a throughput is optimized. How can we actually make it faster, better, without compromising the quality? Next is advanced planning and sustainability. Now, advanced planning and sustainability is another example. Dynamic scheduling of production lines, long-term capacity planning, that means in the long term, what would be the requirement of the market? Now, to understand what would be the requirement of the market, how do you get that? Data science, right? How it has been procured, the historical data. Then you're working with a model and doing a predictive analytics of how it would be required in the near future. That is what? Understanding of the future planning. Now, once we understand the future planning, how would we design and focus and leverage on the production lines? This is a combination of all these technologies that I was talking about and making it happen with Industry 4.0 automation products. So long-term capacity planning, advanced analytics-based warehouses. That means where am I storing? How am I procuring? Okay. Real-time utility and raw material consumption data. real-time utility and raw material consumption. The one example I've given just before for this particular retail chain business, digital laboratories for all these work, in-process testing, digital supply management portals, all these are part of the examples of effective digital transformation that has happened due to the use of Industry 4.0 technologies. So that is why Industry 4.0 is absolutely the buzzword in the market right now. So everywhere you go, everywhere you talk about, they'll say that, okay, Industry 4.0 technologies need to be immediately grasped. That is why this is the requirement. Now, today it is the requirement, tomorrow it would be the requirement. What about day after tomorrow? Here I'm going to talk about the entire 21st century, although no one can predict the future, as I mentioned, but we have to analyze and think and predict based on data analysis, based on sustainable growth, how we are moving, how we have moved and how we are moving. Then only we can design, say something about someone's future, and that is important. So the next part comes is Industry 5.0. Industry 4.0 is all about automation and growth. So the Industry 5.0 shifts the focus from shareholder value to the stakeholder value. Shareholder means, suppose these are the people who are using together or coming together, we are directly working in this particular model, and they are the value-centric people, like as I mentioned, to work with it. And stakeholder is who all are responsible for this and reinforces the role and contribution of industry to society. So in Industry 5.0, actually, it adds human resource as a very big important component into this field of automation. So that is the shift. So there it becomes sustainable, because what happens is in Industry 4.0 technologies, everything is automated. We are focusing on automation. We are focusing on everywhere. It is data analytics, it is machines, it is intelligence, okay, cloud platforms, networking, to all this aspect. Now, when we come to a sustainable business, when we come to a sustainable domain or a service level industry, then we have to think about how this fits with the resources, the human resources. That is the most important. And there we are leveraging Industry 5.0. So focus connecting machines is what is Industry 4.0. Focus on delivering customer experience is what is Industry 5.0. In Industry 4.0, although I mentioned that when we are talking about certainty, when we are talking about the productivity, when we are talking about reduced cost, everything is planned. Everything is automated. Everything is planned and say made as per the requirement of the customer only, and it is planned and set. But after it is being produced and it is given to the customer, suppose a customer needs a tweaking in a particular place as per the requirement, then we need to customize this. We need to go and talk to the customers to focus and change these things. That is also added into this particular Industry 5.0. So Industry 5.0 is nothing but an enhancement of customer centricity, addition of human resources, addition of different stakeholders to the automation that we have done in Industry 4.0. So focus connecting machines, here focus on delivering customer experience. Mass customization, here hyper customization. So it is more focused towards individuals' growth and individuals' requirement. Intelligent supply chain, as I was talking about, that if a quantity gets reduced automatically, then it will be immediately replenished based on the economic order quantity and the lead time of the product. And here responsive and distributed supply chain. That means if it is not automated, but if suppose I know it is closing of the market at this point in time, and from tomorrow, suppose think about a situation where I am using firecrackers for Diwalis. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, when the Diwali and it becomes over in this particular season, say then suppose my firecrackers stock gets reduced. Okay, and there is an alarm for shortage of stock. Obviously, from tomorrow, I don't need it. No one will buy it. But there would be alarmed, there would be automatically, there would be some, requisition being processed, requisition being automatically sent as mail, etc., by a system. Here comes when depending upon the response and depending upon the requirement, where actually humans would need to stop this and understand that no, this is not required anymore. So it is the experience that is required as a response and distributed supply chain. Smart products, we have been using everything smart now, smartwatch, smartphones. Okay. Now same in industry 5.0, experienced activated interactive products. So here we are using experience interactive products where actually these products will now understand from the AI and everything being given to them that how to react in which situations, and they might be totally different at different requirements, like we humans do. Manpower distance from factories, that is industry 4.0, and return of manpower to factories is industry 5.0, where all will have to exist in a very beautiful ecosystem. Next, I'll talk about business domains and services. Here, opportunities for growth using arena of technologies. Now, here I have just jotted down certain domains and certain individual services, some examples of services over there. What I would do as an exercise with you is I would talk about different technologies being used in this and what are the different things that can open up new opportunities in this particular area. Okay. First is healthcare. Now, this is an important domain. We have it in our IT industries. You have it in hospitals. You have it everywhere. And if you go and look into the highest paying job market everywhere, you will see that healthcare products, healthcare services are really very high paying jobs at today's date. Biotechnology is being really used. Now, enhanced diagnostics. Obviously, who does not know enhanced diagnostics is very important in this particular field where computational technologies, automation, everything is put together to place. Patient care. Patient care now is the usage of certain IoT-based devices, starting with sensors, reading the total heartbeat, the blood pressure monitoring, that even you get it in your very like the cheap smartphone, smartwatch that you use it. So these data is being processed, automatically being transmitted through cloud technologies, where it is being processed by artificial intelligence and data science, and the records are given. Doctors sitting in US can actually diagnose you and immediately take corrective actions. Research, sensory aids. Sensory aids obviously now are very important where different devices and different mechanics are being used and technologies are being put together to give the best experience. Industrial automation. I was talking about factory automation. Predictive maintenance, I was talking about that the sliver and the threads when they are working, suppose there is a breakdown, how it works with that. It needs predictive maintenance because there is a chance of breaking down. So when we can work with it, precision agriculture, field automation, these are all part of the industrial automation. Finance. Now, finance is a very important market with the banking and financial segments, BFSI, what we call. Fraud detection, identification of credit card frauds and any other money laundering issues, fraud detection, research on this, risk mitigation, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, as I was talking about, banking segments, all these uses the combinations of data science, domain technologies of the finance and insurance sector, as well as the artificial intelligence leveraged data science and things being worked together to work in this area. Like actually mathematics, commerce, statistics, everything would be required. Next is energy, oil and gas exploration, obviously IoT-based devices, automated products, technologies, data science, everything was required. Smart grid, operational improvements, and conservation. Government, in this domain, we have the defense, obviously defense usage, everything starting from drones with automated systems, AI-driven powered systems and leverages to drop and identify enemies, data insights to find out what can happen, how it can be done, safety and security measures, engagement, smart cities, where you're using it for IoT as well as cloud, data science, and so on, transport, autonomous cars, automated trucking, aerospace, shipping, search and rescue operations. For this, all these are leveraged. And others, if I can talk about advertising, now you go and search about a particular product, say which is the highest paying job. From tomorrow, you'll be flooded with all information about jobs. Okay. Now, this is what is advertising, data science, and marketing would come into place. Education domain, well, I can definitely talk to you. You can hear me and see me. This is like a webinar being taken place. Obviously, cloud, internet connectivities, and systems leverages these things. Gaming industry, I was talking about user experiences using Roblox, artificial intelligence-based games like chess being used, professional IT services, okay, like BPO, KPO, etc. Telco, media, sports, all these things being leveraged for the usage of data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, all together, along with the domains that they fall into. Next, in the upcoming 5 slides, I would focus on the different evolving job markets and trends. Now, friends, in this particular phase, I could not include, as I mentioned in the very first slide, everything on earth. That is not possible. But what I felt is decently very high paying at this point. Actually, not high paying. I would like to say decently very prominent. You will hear everywhere. Everyone is getting jobs in this area. So I have highlighted them and they might be of interest to you. I will tell also, I'll share also that which are the different domains who can cater to this and what you need to do to learn and master it. First, I will talk about data science because that is the buzzword in the market right now. In industry 4.0, industry 5.0, whatever you are saying, data science is the first thing. Knowledge, what you need to know. Well, data science must have an analytical mind and insight. To understand the business, data science is used where? It is used in business. To increase the revenue, to use it for multiple area for different acumen. Now, what is needed? The first is you need to process data. You need to go with the data munching. You need to go with the data munching, what we call it, data pre-processing, developing models, and predicting analytics. Okay, what we call ultimate goal is the KDD, knowledge discovery databases. Now, for all these activity, what is the prerequisite, the raw material for you? The raw material for you is knowledge in statistics and mathematics. Next is suitable for all engineering streams. That is what I kept. Why? I've kept this because if every one of you study like business math and the statistical part in the first semester, in the first year itself, different disciplines, all of you study the engineering mathematics part. Now, if you brush up your statistics a little, you can actually analyze data to any aspect if you aspire for this domain. That is very important. Now, you can come back and tell me I'm from civil, I'm not interested in data science. That is up to you. But if you aspire for it, you can go ahead in this slide. Well, certification and knowledge in data science would be an added advantage if you know the steps, the process, and the tools. Otherwise, if you can use your acumen, if you have solid knowledge in statistics and mathematics, that wins the business for you. Job roles and profiles: data analyst, associate data scientist, senior lead data scientist, product manager head, big data developer, big data analyst. Here I have actually amalgamated data science as well as the big data. Okay, I'm putting it together due to space and time crunch. So that is where the key roles and the profiles are. Now, expected salary. Expected salary, one thing I would like to tell you is that there are process driven companies like where I am from, like in TCS and in other all like top tier process driven companies. We have a standard HRK scale for an entry level job. Okay. Now, when the standard scales are being offered, then no matter which technology you are good at, it is actually as per the scale itself. But this knowing this guarantees you that you get absorbed. Now, suppose you are from a different discipline. Say, for example, you are from electrical or say electronics and communication, where you have learned, say, statistics and mathematics well, and you can come. Suppose is a Mr. X who wants to interview you. You tell that, sir, I'm from this department, but I'm interested in data science, but I do not know any tool. The answer should be good enough. Do you know regression? Fine. Do you know chi-square? Good. Do you know how to compute them? Do you know certain statistical algorithms? I'm not naming everything now. So do you know how to work with it? Do you know the theory of this? I'm giving you some data. Just compute and show me what is the result. What would be the error rate in this? And what is the predictive value of this one? Fair enough, a fair chance for you. Once you are in, definitely learning tools and technologies as required by the project will not be difficult. National level average is 11 lakhs for the role of data scientist. That is being taken from the latest November data. Can range up to 60 to 70 lakhs depending upon the company, depending upon experience, role, and customer. Next is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Knowledge in statistics and mathematics, the first thing. Suitable for all engineering domains, obviously. Now here, additional knowledge can be knowledge in programming, artificial intelligence, machine learning could be an added advantage. What can be the job roles? AI engineer, machine learning engineer, AI data analyst, business intelligence developer, ML scientist. That is machine learning scientist. As I mentioned, entry level salary depends upon the salary structure of the company. National average is 8 to 10 lakhs. Mid-level experiences can provide up to 20 to 50 lakhs per annum. Next is blockchain technology. On the very first or second slide, I mentioned that this is the cryptocurrencies are the buzzing words. Now, when you work with blockchain technologies, you need to understand how cryptocurrencies work, like how Bitcoins are working, how Ethereum is working. What is Hyperledger? What is this technology that is being working with this, different tools? How transactions are performed and secured using blockchain. So knowledge in statistics and mathematics, again, suitable for all engineering streams with acumen in being business and banking domain. Because if you say that, no, I'm not interested in monetary transactions and this banking operations, then blockchain is related to transactions. If you are not interested in programming, then obviously it is difficult. It is suitable for everyone who has an acumen and understanding of this or need to want to understand this. Knowledge in programming, designing, information security, because security is very important in this, would be an added advantage depending upon the job role. What can be the profiles? Blockchain developer, blockchain quality engineer, blockchain user experience designer, because there you want to develop something called dApps, distributed applications, which is about the blockchain technologies that is leveraged through different mobile apps. The people want to transfer the transaction, initiate a transaction. There are certain consensus algorithms actually which secure these transactions, which is called proof of work, proof of stake, etc. So blockchain security engineers, blockchain product managers, these are different roles. Entry level salary depends. If you are in a process oriented company, obviously as per the company's HR policy. National average gives you 8 to 10 lakhs, and mid-level experience provides you around 40 to 50 lakhs. It can be even more, it can be less, depending upon the role, importance, and the acumen you have. Next is full stack software development. Well, today, if you search everywhere, job requirement, website development, you will always hear about Node.js, React.js, AngularJS, Angular, etc., etc. MongoDB. These are all components of full stack development. Knowledge in web development is a prerequisite in this. It is suitable for all engineering streams who can actually visualize and want to program to make and design front end, middle, tier, and back end, the entire end-to-end working. Certification, knowledge in front end, back end components of full stack development would be an added advantage, because when suppose IT company wants to take you in this full stack software development, they would like to see that you know coding. That is important. In fact, one more thing I would like to suggest is, even if you don't learn this entire thing, knowledge about JavaScript, HTML, CSS is important. Job roles and profiles: full stack developer, front end designer, user experience designer, senior full stack developer. So that is the job roles. Entry level salary depends upon the salary structure of the company. National average is 6 to 8 lakhs per annum, ranges from 4 to 20 LPA as a developer. Next, I'm talking about management consultancy. Now, so far I've been talking about different aspects. You might be thinking that I'm biased towards computer science and engineering because I'm from TCS. Not that. There is scope for everyone, everywhere, every individual domain. Management consultancy is a really high paying job today in the market. For doing any consultancy properly, what you need to do, knowledge in statistics, mathematics, and analytics is important because whenever you're doing some consultancy, you need to know that what is the analytics about it. So for analytics, you need statistics, mathematics, and so on. Suitable for all engineering and streams, as also for MBAs who would like to perform. Business acumen and domain understanding provides additional benefit. Business management consultants, job roles and profiles, business analyst, strategy consultants, operations consultants, IT consultants, financial advisory consultants are the different job roles and career profiles in management consultancy because these are all in this particular level. Entry level is 6 to LPA, as I mentioned. It is actually people look for MBAs also, apart from your engineering degrees. Mid-level experience provides 20 to 30 LPA. Investment banking from the BFSI segment. It is a very investment banker is a very important term now today in the market. Obviously, investment banking to predict, to grow, knowledge in mathematics and statistics are required. Suitable for all engineering streams with acumen in banking and insurance domain. Knowledge in banking sector, finance would be desirable. Investment banking analyst, investment banking associate, investment banking manager, these are certain job profiles. Entry-level salaries may range from 10 to 12 lakhs. Mid-level experience can go up to 30 to 40 LPA, depending upon the requirement. Next is business analyst. Communications and analysis skills, mathematics and statistics. For any analyst job, this is a must. It is suitable for all engineering streams because anyone can go to this particular business analyst. In fact, understanding the domain becomes very important in this. So whichever domain you are working, be it from the mechanical field, going to a company for business analysis, which is a core company of mechanical, doing mechanical work, then obviously you're going for a Steel Authority of India, suppose. There you want to work as a business analyst of some of their products. So understanding the domain is very important in this way. IT business analyst, data analyst, data engineer, quantitative analyst, these are the requirements in this. Entry-level salary depends upon the salary structures of companies as per their policies, ranges from 6 to 20 LPA, increases with experience. Next is aerospace engineering, suitable for aerospace engineering streams, naturally, operations technicians, aerospace engineers, material engineer. Well, entry-level salary depends. It is like 4 to 15 lakhs it can be ranging depending upon the company where it is being placed. Cloud computing, another very important technology as we were talking about. Well, you need to understand the concept of virtualization, suitable for all aspirants coming from across engineering domains. There's no restriction as such. Knowledge of programming, knowledge of databases, cloud technologies and providers, networking, everything is needed. So cloud network engineer, cloud administrator, cloud automation engineer, cloud software engineer, cloud security and a specialist, cloud architect. These are the job profiles, ranging the salary from 5 to 10 LPA, and obviously it increases with experiences. The next is a very interesting one and upcoming, the cybersecurity and digital forensics. Now, digital forensics, cybersecurity is paving the path so that no threats or no security vulnerabilities happen. Everything is protected. What if something has happened? Some data has been leaked. Some security has been breached. There comes the forensics. So ability to work from challenging material, has the desire to learn and understand the basic cybersecurity fundamentals, can consider. Suitable for aspirants across all domains. Here you get cybersecurity specialist, information security engineer, cloud security specialist, cyber forensic consultant, cyber forensic analyst. So these are the area. It is very promising and opening up job profile and domain as of now. Salary ranges from 4 lakh to 20 LPA. National level averages goes up to 9 to 10 LPA, and growth is exponential as per the requirement. So these were some 10 I have chosen from the top paying jobs and which has the maximum visibility as of now. Next, if I talk about aspire your goals, logical steps to success, how do you do it? Guys, there can be lots of buzzes. There can be lots of things that this is good, do this. That is good, do this. This one is really upcoming in the market, do this. But follow your own instincts. Which area you want to explore? Follow your own aspiration. That is the most important thing. If you like data analysis, then only go to data analysis, not because your friend is following it. If you are having an acumen of forensics, if you have acumen of cybersecurity, then only follow it. That is very important. So focus on your key skills and your aspirations. Focus on the business, communication, and cognitive skills. Now, National Qualifier Test NQT has visibility of industries which are across multiple domains, not only TCS for computations, but in the systems, but you have different domains starting from aerospace, management, banking and finance, and so on. So once you complete your NQT and you get a very good national qualifier test score, your visibility increases, right? Now, the thing is that which area, where would you like to go? That depends upon your choice. How you want to position yourself, that depends upon your aspirations. One thing is important is definitely in everything, if you have seen that I said, brush up your mathematics, statistics, and cognitive skills. This is important. Now, that is why cognitive skills enhancement and the ability to think fast, ability to react fast to the environment is very important. That gives you how fast your brain receptors are working. That gives the essence of your intelligence and acumen. So focus on business, practice them, communication and cognitive skills. Gain experience through internships. There are lots of internships everywhere. You can gain experience through different kinds of internships because they will give you some kind of experiences and job in on-job like experiences before even if you join a particular job profile as a fresher. And the most important thing is don't do any internship just for the sake of doing it. I've like mentored multiple interns under me. I know that once you do a job, they'll copy paste, they'll do something, they'll put up something as a very good solution. But if you ask them, how did you do it? There is no answer. Now, please don't do that. That is very important. Now, in your CV, if you write that I have done an internship and I've developed an artificial intelligence model or a data science model of this particular area, then the first question will come is, what did you understand in it? As an interviewer, I would definitely ask you that how did you do it? Which technology have you used it? What is the model? What was the basis? How was the data? Where did you get the data from? How did you prepare the data? How did you develop the model? Which were the libraries you used? What outcome did it come? Etc. etc. To understand that whether you have actually done it or you have not done it. You're just a part of it. So that is important. Gain experience through internships. Now gain experience through internships, not in paper, but actually for you. Increase visibility by creating job profiles in the job boards. Job boards are multiple arenas now, like visible, LinkedIn, and so many profiles. Their job boards are there. Make yourself visible so that your potential employer can actually track you and see and can hire you. Practice your introduction, what you need to say, how you want to work. Practice, stay focused and calm. Don't be afraid to make and admit mistakes. That is important and human in nature. So there's nothing wrong in it. But be honest, and that is the most important thing. Okay. Next, I would like to say be a winner. You would winning a job is at your own will and skill. Beat the competition. Let sky be your limits and dare to aspire. So think, grow. Thank you so much. Thank you for hearing me for so long. For question answers, please.
Thank you, Debashish, for this wonderful, wonderful session, if I may say, and for taking us through this masterclass. It was extremely exhaustive. I would say from answering or rather taking up things like automation to big data to data science to exactly what are the salaries going to be for each of these particular fields. I think it was completely exhaustive, and I think the students would have immensely benefited from here, because I'm seeing a lot of
Thank you so
questions which
much.
are coming in, and which are going to ask the more or less the same kind of questions which you kind of already have answered. But anyway, let us take this opportunity to I think this session would have benefited all the participants who are there live here today. And I would like to throw this forum open for questions now. And there have been quite a few questions which have already come in. So let me kind of, pose this before our subject matter expert, who's going to be happy to help all the questions which have come here. First question, let me take it here. A very, a very obvious question in a way. I'm from a non-computer science background. Which domain do you think would be good for me? Uh, what do you think?
Yes. Thank you so much, Dimple, for this question. Well, if you're from non-computer science background, I just explained in my slides that there are so many things. Everything is, all these domains and technologies are so interrelated that your core skills would be a very important weapon to actually master a particular field and work in that. Say if you are from mechanical, if you are from, say, textile, if you're from something, say, electrical, then these things like working in these particular domains where of the automation, where actually these kind of internet of things are being leveraged, where these domains of different industry are being leveraged together, they would actually be integrated, and your domain expertise and domain information would be a very important part in this. So even in IT industries, we require domain experts. A team is being formed not only of people who can program or code, but a team is being formed of the domain experts, the people who can analyze, the people who can code, the people who can design and think. So basically, a balanced team is formed in this way. So even if you are from a core domain, do not be scared to join and try your skills in this respective area, because even in everywhere, even if IT is being used or anywhere it is being used, it is actually now the distinction. The walls have been dropped, as I might say. It is basically agile everywhere, where all the fields are actually in a very close knitted, correlated integration to bring out something good for automations and the world. Okay, so could I answer this?
Yeah, very well, Devashish. Next question would be, we'll go a bit short on this, because which programming language or tool should we learn for data science or machine learning?
Well,
What do you think?
right.
I think you
See,
already covered it in a bit way, but if you could just repeat it.
right. I would like to just tell you this. There are multiple programming languages. Now, in industry, we don't decide programming languages. You can learn R, you can learn Python, you can learn Java, you can learn Scala, you can learn Spark, Python, PySpark, you can learn whatever you feel like. The idea is, if you understand the topic, if you understand the mathematics of it, if you understand how it works, then working with the tools becomes a breeze. That you will learn while you're working. So you learn something, any one particular language thoroughly so that you can express yourself, right?
Okay, fine enough. Next question is, what do you think, which particular job role has the greatest or the fastest growing trajectory? Um, uh, I think the trajectory here is talking about growth in terms of salaries
Growth
or growth in terms of career, both
in
ways, I
every
think.
I think it is in all aspect. So the
All
thing is
aspects,
that,
correct.
yes. So the idea is each and every one. The first thing I would like to say is the answer is all, and everything is included in this. There is nothing, do not be choosy. That's why in my last slide I said follow your aspiration. Whichever you aspire, you grow. So there is nothing called this job is good, this particular field is good, this is growing faster, that is racing in. There's nothing called that. because you never know which one would have which bend in the coming years.
Correct.
So follow your aspiration, your experience matters, and your knowledge matters. That is all.
Yeah, super right, super right, right. Okay, so we are engineers. Next question is, we are engineers. How do we get into the banking domain?
Right. Like this is a very good question. Here I would like to come across. I'm stopping to share my screen. Okay. So here I would like to get into this particular question. See, the thing is that uh, once you are going through this any particular kind of, the first thing that you need to practice is you need to go through your cognitive skills. You need to learn and understand your cognitive skills, the basic mathematics and the statistics, whatever is required to get into an industry. Once you get into a particular project, domain knowledges would automatically be delivered and given to you to deliver it. So if you are into the banks, then naturally the domain experts would be helping you out to understand what this is. Apart from that, if you are not in getting into the company, but if you want to train yourself, there are multiple BFSI segment, say you can certifications and all that you can look at it. But honestly, I would like to recommend as a fresher, you need to focus on your cognitive skills, your learning abilities, and whatever basic information you have, you can brush up on that.
Okay, okay. We have a question in a reverse format now. We have a question from Priyanshi, who's there. And Priyanshi has a question about, what about people from the commerce background? What kind of skills or courses should they be doing after BCom? Okay,
Very good question. Very good question. Well, Priyanshi, the thing is that from BCom, if you are from BCom, then banking and financial segment is very important for you. Focus on BFSI segment. You can also pursue chartered accountancy because that also gives a very high profile in a payment paid jobs. But BFSI segment is really hot and upcoming in the market. And also the insurance domains. And second, and the next part is basically working with the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain, as I mentioned. Here you can focus blockchain on the financial technologies like blockchain in fintech. Okay, these are the area you can actually focus, and the job requirements are really high, as I can understand, as on
okay,
today's date.
okay. Now we have a question from Ankit. Since Debashish, you have also participated in the the tag hiring interviews. I think
Yes,
so. We
yes,
have a kind of a relevant question from there. I am from electronics, that is EC branch, and have a knowledge in programming as well as AI and ML. I have attended the TCS digital interview, but in that they asked me only my branch related questions.
right.
So, do I have an opportunity in the IT field, or should I focus on only my branch knowledge?
No, see, the ideally, I would like to tell you, as a fresher, we don't expect that you know and learn everything. So we test you on whatever you know. That is the first thing. See, I'll tell you something. Whenever you are from electronics, I cannot ask you what is big data. That makes no sense. But we want to hire you based on your cognitive skills, your intelligence, your acumen, and whatever you have studied, whether you have studied it thoroughly or not. That is very important. That proves sincerity. That is basically from the techno managerial skills I'm telling you. That proves sincerity. Once you come and join us, then our initial learning programs can actually groom you through our requirements. That is fine. But we need to check how you can grasp it. That is why we focus on whatever is you have already learned, not as per our requirement. We know if you're thorough in your skills, then naturally, whatever we will be giving it to you, you will be able to learn that also. That is what we were testing.
Okay, so the base has to be perfect, and thereafter, obviously, you can branch out to other things, correct?
Yes.
So we have another question from Shivana Lakshmi Chinta. She has a question in which, well, in case there is a good knowledge about the subject you are selected to do the work in your company, I think let me rephrase the question. If you have a good knowledge about your subject, will you be selected? I think you kind of answered the question already.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll go on to the next question from Anish, who's there. So Anish is from JNEC College, and Aurangabad. And his question is, which programming languages do you regularly use in your work? Is there any
Okay.
specification
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that?
very good, very important question. Okay. Anish, it's a very interesting question, and I would really love to answer this. See, the thing is that in my 16 years, 17 actually, years of work experience, till now I have used multiple programming languages. It depends upon the project, it depends upon the customer that we are working and where we have been deployed and what is being used. So if you ask about me, I started with C++, then I moved to Java, then I moved to Python, then data science, cloud, cybersecurity, everywhere. Okay, so the thing is that it does not stick to a particular individual area. With experience, it actually keeps on moving. With requirements and roles, it keeps on moving. Even within a company, you will find certain aspirational roles that you can actually take up, even if you are in a particular job profile and role. So you can even move in that. So it purely depends upon the choice and the opportunities and the projects that you get. That is why, even in, I think there was a previous question that which programming language is important. There I mentioned that there is nothing called this is important or that is important. Everything is important. Only you need to understand and master one, which you would like to say that this is the one actually I really know, and this is what I can do with this. Some long questions were actually popping up. So,
Yeah, I'll make it short and kind of give it to you. So we have another question from Pawan, which is there. He is talking about to elaborate about the gaming industry and its scope. Obviously, it is
oh, that's
really
great.
buzzing nowadays, and a lot of
Right, right.
startups and
See,
working.
gaming industries obviously use all in the, say, industry 4.0 technologies. Okay. What are the different areas encompasses it? It is a huge, like billions of money is in being invested right now into this. Now, what is it? The prima facie that you see is user experience. That is UI UX developer. Basically, the job role is that is user experience using immersive experience. What immersive experience is? That is what we call is a virtual reality, augmented reality, and so on. Okay. Now that is the first thing. And it is not the underlying technology. It is the top level, superficial, what you see. You see a particular, say, a dragon running with fire coming out from the mouth. Now the thing is that it is giving some 3D effects, 7D effects kind of thing, etc., etc. Now what is happening when you are interacting with it? The way you are interacting, it is moving around, right? It is directly posing you more challenges, more difficulty levels. That means what? It is adaptive. The moment it becomes adaptive, then means what? The background is an artificial intelligence system that is actually understanding your moves and planning accordingly. So AI is now mapped accordingly. Once you are tracked over there, and suppose you have lost interest, say for example, you have lost the game and you're not coming out the next some hours or 1 or 2 days, you're not visiting the site. You will see that the adaptation level in the data science is such a way that the next time you will definitely win. They will reduce the complexity level. So data science is already into this. So basically, these are mesmerizing technologies of artificial intelligence, then immersive experience, data science, cloud technologies, and whatnot, everything. So whatever industry 4.0 technologies and the scopes are given, everything is embedded into it to give you a full-fledged experience.
Okay, correct, correct. So IT has a scope, and definitely we have another student who is from MBA first year. So we should have some questions from there also. So I would like to know how can I prepare for Industry 4.0, uh, and what other things should I learn beforehand to become an industry-ready professional?
Very good
I
question.
think very good question.
Okay, so industry 4.0 technologies, as I already mentioned, like cloud, big data, data science, IoT, cybersecurity, immersive experience. Okay, these are all industry 4.0 technologies. With machine learning, deep learning, etc. That particular track entirely, the data science track, the big data track, cloud technologies track. Okay, immersive experience. So these are all industry 4.0 technologies. Not necessarily you can master everything in a short period of span. So what I would like to say is pick up as per your aspiration, your base, say likings, and focus on that skill. That will provide the key to move forward. And
Okay.
naturally, your cognitive skills are very important. So try to focus on the basics.
Okay. We have another question from Anish who says, which projects should I practice for full stack development? What are the kind of projects basically he should be involved in for full stack development?
Okay, so see, I'll tell you something. Here we see an end-to-end connectivity. Okay, so if you can do a front end to a middle tier to a back end, the entire thing we see. So the thing is that if you can leverage these technologies in any kind of project that you are comfortable and working with, then it is okay to deal with. So the project name is not that important. The important is how you have developed this and what technologies you have used and how whether you can sufficiently use it in other technologies or not. Because naturally what you will be using or learning, that is not going to be the project in the industries at the industry level.
Yes,
So
yes.
naturally we would see that whether you are comfortable with that domain or not.
Okay. We have another question from Pratik, who's there, who's also pursuing BBA in international business and from Pune University. And he is also learning full stack web development with Mernstack. And from YouTube, he is also into practicing a lot of things there. So, can I get a job as a web developer without an engineering degree?
Yes, you can. Very well you can. Definitely you can. The moment you have a particular graduation and you have the acumen to work with it, and this is particular area where actually even without any engineering degrees, you can definitely get these kind of openings and jobs. And now I think even like TCS posts some requirements where actually it is open for BSc and BBA candidates. So you can even look at it. Requirements comes up and directly mails are being sent, I guess. And
Okay.
other companies also come up with opportunities.
Okay. I think you had one of your slides which talked about following your aspiration. I think someone has a question on that. How do we identify our aspiration or passion or career path? Okay, even I have a lot of aspirations. So again, so I'm sure you have too. So how do we identify our aspiration, passion, or career path? If a person is confused about it, obviously students will be. So how do they do that?
Very good question, actually. Honestly, it is a very good question. Now, the first thing is that how do you understand which domain you are in? Say, think that can you sit in front of a computer and practice a particular programming language for hours without thinking about anything? If you can do that, then programming is your aspiration. If you think that no, I am really inclined towards cybersecurity, really want to look into like what is happening in the cyber world. I am really inclined towards ethical hacking. I'm really inclined towards if someone has hacked my mail, how to identify who has done it. Then digital forensic is your aspiration. If you think that no, I'm good in cloud, I want to work with it for the rest of my life, that if you feel in that particular way, then that is it. If you're good in mathematics and statistics, you can follow data science. So it is all up to the level that you feel that you are confident, you feel that you would like to stick to is your aspiration. But obviously, one thing is very important, aspiration changes over time. Nothing is constant, accepting one thing, and that is change. So for the time being, follow whatever you feel at this point in time is your aspiration. Tomorrow with prospects, tomorrow with visibility, because today something might be more interesting to me or to you, which is not visible to me. And once it comes in front of us, it becomes very aspiring and we want to follow it. So as of now, whatever you feel you are interested in, that is your aspiration.
Okay. I think we are facing a lot of questions, but for paucity of time, I think we will take in the last question for the day. The question is from a BCA student, and he or she is asking about what skills are necessary for a software engineer in TCS for a beginner.
software engineer in TCS has, well, you need to brush up your cognitive skills. First, you need to get into TCS. For that, going through your cognitive skills, brushing up with a general programming knowledges. Because see, as a national qualifier test, the first thing is you need to get a very good high marks in this, right? So that it becomes visible. Now, for that, practicing cognitives, aptitude, etc., is required. General programming languages that would be required because that is the basic that is being tested. And looking at your experience and qualification, I think if you look into the basics of this and practice the aptitude and the cognitive skills and the basic programming languages for the general NQT test, that should be okay to give you an entry pass. Once you get into it, then obviously with the initial learning programs and to work with the different project exposures, you will gradually be a part of a full-fledged experienced profession.
Okay, I think we have almost reached the end of the session, but I would inform the students there will be a poll coming to all of you as to basically where you can record your feedback and to how you enjoyed this particular session, this masterclass session, which is there. And I thank you, Debashish, for this wonderful sharing of thoughts. I think it was extremely informative. To the detail, to the dots. That's why the flood of queries which came in, and I hope the students enjoyed as much as we enjoyed bringing it to them. All right. So I think please wait for the poll which is there. And before we bid adieu, I would like to tell the participants to watch out for the next in the masterclass series, which would be happening in December tentatively. So stay connected and stay informed. And all the very best to all the students who have participated. Make the best in your career. Thank you so very much for participation and for valuable feedback that we're expecting from you. So please watch out for the poll that is coming to you. You will have to give your feedback. Okay, by pressing the button, you'll have to give your feedback, which is there. So we can have the poll here. I would like to thank the students and Debashish for this wonderful session and stay connected for the next of the masterclass series. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you, friends, for joining.
And as you can see, it's not just the only session that we're having today, but we will be having the next session, the next masterclass session, which will be on 9th of December, where the topic for that particular discussion will be verbal and written communication skills. Well, it is one of the most important things. Yes, definitely technical rules the roast. At the same point of time, we have verbal and written communication skills, which is extremely important. So the next masterclass series will be on that. And I hope you have a very good learning with that. And thank you for attending the session and participating in the session. I think with this, we would like to bid adieu. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
participants.